And welcome back to Golden Golf Academy. Today we're going to talk about squaring the club and how you should do so and the easiest way to do it on the way down. What the great players do and how it can help you. Now I'm trying to bring this information to you. How, why, what the body does, why it does. And you can see that a little bit in our Are You a Tilter or Rotator? Because if you understand what your body does, you can understand how to square the club properly. Now, anytime we get into, let's say a tilter is going to have a lateral motion starting the downswing with their legs. Think of Freddie Couples. Think of Seve Ballesteros. Think of Jack Nicklaus. Now, all these guys won majors and they're great players. They have more of a lateral move first. Okay, that allows them to open the club face so they can time it with their hands. Then you're going to see more of a reverse C and a high hands finish with the club going through their neck. The club more tilted at a 45-degree angle down. If we go look at rotators, we're going to look at, Ben Hogan. George Knudsen was a good one. I've given some more examples, but what you're going to see, and Knudsen was Hogan's shadow on tour. What you're going to see there is you're going to see more of the spine on top of the pelvis rotating. You're going to see coming in, you're going to see the left hand bowed more. You're going to see the left hand. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to bow up here, okay? This is a fallacy that a lot of teachers are teaching right now, that you have to bow it up top. You don't. The risk, because of the rotation and forces, can actually start bowing down here and squaring at this point in time when the club's parallel to the ground. So when you look at a swing like this, on a rotator swing, you're going to see more of a finish where the spine's more on top, more forward. The clubs are going to be more parallel to the ground or on the horizon line. That's going to be more of a rotational swing. Now, why it's important on how we square the club is because we've got 2 points on our body and then 1 point on the club. So you got a point here, we're going to call this point 1, point 2, and our third point's where we hold the club, okay? Now, because we got 2 fixed points here and 1 here, we have 1 point, our right arm in a right-handed player is folding, and while we do that, the left arm is actually rotating. So on the way down, if we don't rotate this arm and on the way back down, the face is open, but it's not just rotating the arm, okay? Because I get a lot of people saying, oh, you just have to turn the body. Well, that's great, but at some point in time, my arms have to release. I can't just hit golf balls like this. There's no power there because the right arm straightening provides power. So does the rotation. It's a combination of the two. So how do you truly square it? Whether you're a tilter or a rotator. So as we get the club, let's scoot up here so you can see better. As we get the club parallel to the ground, right here, you can see my left arm has rotated, my right arm's folded. Now, even if you're a guy who gets more of the one-piece takeaway, my left arm has still rotated some, and my right arm is still starting to fold, even as I go up. There's no way around it. So what has to happen as we get back down, coming into the golf ball, okay, so we're coming back in. I'm going to hit this ball. Let's grab one. And let's say I'm coming into impact here. There's a good ball right there. I'm coming into impact. So the club's parallel to the ground now. You're going to see the face is square. But now, even if I just rotate, I still haven't squared that face. I'm leaning forward. Now, if I tilt, I still haven't squared that face. If I tilt, I've got to throw my hands. If I rotate, I've got to square the arm. How do we square this on the way down when we get into this great position where the club's parallel to the ground? At this point, if you look at the greatest ball strikers of all time, they're all starting to, at this point, this left hand is starting to turn down. But it's not just the left hand, it's also the left elbow. As I rotate and I turn this left elbow down, and you can see that face starting to square right there. It's squaring. It's already square right there. Put my right hand on, it's square. Now I've turned that club down. So let's come over here and look at it from this angle. So as I'm getting in here, parallel to the ground, now you can be a tilter and have more tilt here and still turn this thing down. See, look at that. I'm still turning it down with that the left elbow coming down, the left hand coming down. This is a squaring motion right there, okay? That is the squaring motion. If I keep my elbow out here, away, and I keep trying to turn, you can see that face never squares. If I'm tilting and I flip my hands, now this is a hard way to try to control the ball. So the key here, what we're trying to do, as we get the club parallel to the ground, the left elbow and the left hand have to start turning down. See, it's not just bowing this wrist, okay? Bowing this wrist controls the face, but I also have to square it. Like I can bow the wrist all I want, but if that arm doesn't come down, that club's still not gonna release through. So it's as we get into parallel to the ground, what's gonna happen from this point is that left elbow is gonna return to facing the body. As I do that, that left hand is gonna be turning down. So left elbow turning down, left hand turning down, and I want you to look at that face now. I'm in a very powerful position. Right there, hands leading, but I'm not tilted back with the spine. I can actually draw it from this position, even with my spine on top of the golf ball. Now that we've seen that it's a left arm, the way to teach yourself to do this is hitting balls left-handed. Because if you hit balls left-handed, you cannot keep this elbow away from your body and get returning this way. You can't go like this either, where the right hand throws early trying to square it. If you hit balls left hand only, you're going to feel this as you're rotating. You're going to feel the pull of the club head and the weight of the club pulling back on that left hand. As we rotate, it's pulling, and that's what gives that bowed look on the left hand. It gives that look of the bowing the left hand. Now look, again, I don't have what most people would call a weak grip. I'm at 45 on the thumb. So as I'm turning, that's a flat left wrist. There's where the club face is. That is perfectly square. Now I can keep rotating. That club face is still square. And then exit over here left. And that's how you actually release the club. Right there. It's not up here where you go, oh, I'm going to bow the wrist and then all I have to do is turn. Well, that's not necessarily true because the arms have to do something. You're missing one of the largest power accumulators of the right arm extending as well. Because as you look, as we're turning this left arm down and the right arm starting to extend, if we can hold that wrist back and press pressure here with the right arm, you're going to see how much power, you're going to see that jump ball jump and compression improve, and you're not swinging harder. So if you're going to be hitting golf balls, the best thing I can tell you to learn to square the club first is left hand only, because it's going to get you to turn that face down. You're going to see how easy it is to draw the golf ball hitting balls left hand only. Then put your right hand on there and then start getting those same feelings. What you're going to see is that as this left arm, as you're turning, it's putting pressure, pulling the shaft back. You're going to have to take this left arm and turn it down. You have to turn that elbow down into the body. And you can see right now the squaring motion that club has right there. That's just me with elbow. There's no hand there. That's just elbow. So I'm squaring the club. I'll do it this way. So here, this is all elbow. Ready? That's elbow right there. All elbow. Turning that elbow down to my body. Okay? Now, even if I'm open on the face here, I can still turn the elbow and square that. See that? Now, to get more compression out of it, I'm going to turn that wrist just a little bit on the way down. As I get close to this club, getting close to parallel to the ground, I'm going to feel that left wrist starting to turn down just a little bit. I'm going to take the left elbow and I'm going to start pulling it into my side right here. Look at that club. It's going to swing right out in front of me, right there, and turn through. And this is your squaring motion. It's all in the left hand. The right hand provides power. The right arm provides power, actually, as pushing leverage, but the left hand is doing squaring. So when we put it together, I'm squaring and pushing down. So it's squaring and pushing down. And that's how you hit the ball and create power. What I want you guys to do now is we're putting GoldenGolfAcademy.com together. If you've looked at our site already, you've seen it's not quite fully functional. All the tips and videos you're seeing here is going to be available on our website, only much more detailed, in depth. We got tutorials, instructionals on how to do things. Our goal is to bring you the best way to improve your game in the comfort of your own home on your own time. So go check that out. Look at options to learn there. And we look forward to helping you improve your game. Thanks again.